What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we're going to talk about some guns I wish I didn't buy. It's that time again. It's that time of year when everybody's going to go out and buy some hunting guns. They're going to buy some guns for home defense, maybe some concealed carry guns. I think it's just as important to know what guns you shouldn't buy as much as it is the guns that you should buy. So today we're going to go over 5 guns that I wish I didn't buy. What a disaster. Now it's going to be a diverse selection of firearms. There's going to be some rifles and some pistols on this list because shitty guns come of all types.
Before Chris tells you all about the guns he wish he didn't buy, we'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Ammo Squared. If you're a gun enthusiast like Chris, you have tons of guns in tons of different calibers. Ammo Squared is one of the coolest ways that you can always make sure that you have the right ammo that you need. Sign up, pick a caliber, set an auto by budget, and select a shipping trigger. Ammo accumulates over time based on your own budget, and it's stored for free until you want it at your house. Thank you to Ammo Squared for sponsoring today's video.
With that being said, let's get right into it with number 5, and probably the most recent gun on the list for sure, and definitely one of the most requested guns for review. We actually shot this in a first shots, and we will be releasing on our second channel, Outlaw Life, but it didn't go as well as I hoped, and that is going to be the Derya DY9. Now this is a Turkish Glock clone in a sea of Turkish Glock clones. This one doesn't stand out that much, but when we went online, we're actually recently bought a bunch of firearms for our best under 300 list. I wanted to try all the new guns for 2025 that were under $300, and this was one of them. We actually picked this guy up for around 280, if I remember right, and on paper seems like a pretty good gun. It has a 4-inch slide, 4-inch barrel, and a front HD sight with a green rear, so it's sort of like 2010 Smith & Wesson. We have an optic cut on the gun, we have a decent trigger, and we have a very interesting looking grip. Now it comes with an included magwell, and it does come with one 15-round, definitely aftermarket Glock magazine. It looks sort of like a Glock magazine, but also looks sort of like it was made in somebody's garage, and it does say Turkey on the bottom of the base plate to confirm it was in fact made in someone's garage. Now the gun itself I really do like, because a lot of the Turkish clones are very, very good, and I shouldn't shit on all of them, because particularly the T-Sauce that we shot recently was one of the best guns I've shot for under 1,000, let alone under 300, and that gun was the exact same price as this. However, this gun is not that good. This gun actually has a lot of ergonomic issues over a Glock. The trigger's worse, and overall the accuracy wasn't wonderful.
Did a lot of missing there.
The shooting impulse was pretty poor as well, and overall I just don't really see a point. I'm not entirely sure that the Gen 3 Glock is the gun to clone anymore. There's VP9s out there, there's PDPs, you can clone those. You know, the Canik TP9 series is famous for cloning the Walther P99. Those have been very successful because I sort of feel like those are better guns off the jump these days. I mean, the Glock Gen 3 is one of the greatest guns of all time, but it was in fact one of the greatest guns for the 2000s, not the 2020s. And modern day, taking a gun like this with a okay base and then adding sort of really cheap parts to it. That's basically what we have. We have a very cheaply made Glock Gen 3 clone. Pretty much worse than a Glock in every way, including the reliability. And for the $280 price point, which seems very low, there's actually a lot of really good guns. Again, a couple weeks ago, we put our best guns under 300. All those guns are the same price as this, and they're all much better than this gun. Overall, the shooting experience was just not very pleasant for me, especially next to the T-Sauce. We did shoot them together, and sometimes comparisons the thief of joy. And in this case, it is. Also, it has a very weird angled grip with sort of a, I don't know, carry cut on the grip there, but it still has just a flush fit 15-round magazine, which just seems like a strange combination to me. And the optics mounting system looks the jankiest I've ever seen it. I mean, you can see it's cut off, like it's an off angle. The sights are pretty garbage.
The red and green is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of distracting.
I just think the gun looks really, really cheap. You can do much better than the Derya. I'm not saying this is the worst gun in the world, but compared to the T-Sauce, I wish I didn't buy it. Now, in at number 4, we have another gun which was okay, but I do sort of wish I didn't buy it, and that's going to be the Palmetto State Armory AR-15, but the 300 Blackout PDW. Now, I purchased this gun, and then I upgraded it a little bit. At least I thought I upgraded it. I put a folding buffer tube system on it, and I wanted to make it the world's cheapest bag gun. What I was trying to do was trying to make a 300 Blackout PDW for under $400, and what I did was essentially take a mediocre rifle and make it inoperable. And that's sort of all my fault. Like, Palmetto has some really good guns and they have some not so good guns, and their super affordable stuff, in my opinion, is a hair hit or miss. Now, if you go in like the Saber series, those guns are great. That was already a pretty affordable AR, and then putting a buffer tube adapter on it at a different buffer system and then trying to get it to run subsonic was a lesson in humility for me. And that's sort of why I've honestly turned away from the 300 Blackout a little lately. It's because I've never really had a 300 Blackout gun that I would consider 100% reliable, especially a gun that you're trying to shoot subs and supers through. You basically need a new gas system or at least a new buffer system to run each, and trying to find one that's optimized for subs and then shooting supers through it is sort of like shooting 50 BMG. The recoil is pretty extreme. And then if you optimize one for supers and get the recoil and pulse nice and smooth for that, and then shoot subs through it, it just doesn't work. It was a gun that I initially shot and was excited about, and then after I shot it, I completely gave up on the gun, and I wish I never tried the project. Maybe I'll try it again in the future with a little more expensive gun, but I don't think I will go the route of the super affordable 300 Blackout Palmetto again, and I may never honestly invest much time in the 300 Blackout after that project. I know this is kind of a weird personal thing to put on the list. This is why sort of my controversial pick, because it's not really about the gun necessarily, just really about sort of a bad idea. Overall, I think the thing could have performed better, and once we shot supers through it, it worked really well, but I don't think anybody really wants that. And at number 3, we have this goofy fucking thing. And this I have because we had a couple drinks and I had a big list of guns I should buy, but what I received was a Homesteader. Why? The answer is because my wife was like, man, I'd like to see if it got better.
Malfunction.
Okay.
Another malfunction?
What a disaster. Fail again. What is going on? Okay, so what's happening here, I wonder?
Well, first off, I want to talk about the first Homesteader because we haven't shot this yet. I'm just sort of previewing you that we're going to shoot the second version. But I want to tell you some things I didn't like about the first Homesteader because that is at number 3. Now, the Homesteader is an interesting gun, and it sort of reminds me a lot of a copy of the Ruger PC Carbine in almost every way. As a matter of fact, Henry introduced it after the success of the Ruger PC Carbine. The Ruger PC Carbine is a blowback operated 9mm pistol caliber carbine with traditional features, which you can find somewhere between $600 and $400 in a variety of different colors, calibers, and in fact, you can even get takedown models. Henry introduced their version at twice the price. It weighs more. It does not take down. It is not as reliable. We had many malfunctions with the first variant.
Is it empty or is it?
No, it's not empty. It's got a shell sticking out the bolt.
Oh, I can't see it.
It also has a switchable charging handle, which actually introduces a ton of blowback to your face while you shoot the gun because there's a big cut in the ejection port here. On top of that, instead of getting it in the Glock magazine or the Ruger magazine configuration that you can get the PC Carbine in, this actually came in the Henry magazine configuration, which only had 5 and 10 rounds, which is just dog shit in my opinion.
Did it malfunction? Or
No, it's
empty.
it's just a 5-round mag.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
The fun is short.
And not everybody lives in California. Get your shit together. Now, I was very disappointed in the Henry Homesteader, A, because I used to be a big fan of Henry, and B, because the Homesteader looks really cool. And that's actually why I have a second version, because my wife bought it because it looks really cool. I mean, look how good this thing looks.
It's a new color.
It's pretty. And we got the burnt bronze version, but when I picked this gun up, I realized pretty quickly it has a lot of the same issues. On top of that, it doesn't come with a top rail because for whatever reason, it comes with iron sights that are usable only in like a buckhorn configuration. It's like a buckhorn style iron sight, which is also dumb. You don't want to cut your sight radius in half. And the last thing I don't like about the Henry Homesteader is it's twice as heavy as the Ruger. It feels heavy when I pick it up. I have AR-15s that are lighter than this, and the reason why people want a pistol caliber carbine is nice and small and light and low recoil and easy to shoot with low blast, whereas this is a good pistol caliber carbine if you get a good one and you don't own any other pistol caliber carbines to compare it to. But we're gonna try it again because I'm married and that's life. If you wanna see the new Henry Homesteader in action, feel free to subscribe. In at number 2, we have the Ruger American Gen 2 300 Blackout, a continuation of the 300 Blackout sucks kinda saga. Now, if you thought 300 Blackout kinda sucks in a cheap carbine, it and super sucks in a bolt action rifle. That was a terrible idea. Now, initially purchased by me because a 300 Blackout subsonic bolt action rifle would be extremely quiet suppressed. Part of the reason why I got it is because I blew my eardrums out 2 years ago and I wanted something extremely quiet that I could shoot without having any issues, because 2 ruptured eardrums means you shouldn't shoot for a while, but I like to shoot, so here we are. I was shooting subsonic 22, subsonic 300 Blackout, and I was shooting suppressed handguns with 9mm subsonic in them, all because they're super quiet, especially with double ear pro. That being said, 300 Blackout was not designed for a bolt bolt-action rifle, and now every time I see a bolt-action rifle in 300 Blackout, I kind of cringe. I've had 2 variations now, and both of them are Rugers. One Ruger Predator, one Ruger American. The Ruger American was the biggest offender because I was so excited for that rifle, because it's a really good rifle. If you get it in 5.56 or 308 or maybe 6.5 Creedmoor, probably going to get one of the best rifles for your dollar on the market today. Very accurate, very reliable. That being said, the 300 Blackout doesn't chamber at all, and it is an absolute nightmare. It is a nightmare to run the bolt. It is a nightmare to try to get multiple shots in a row. And in all fairness, 300 Blackout is more expensive than 5.56 and in some cases even 308. So even my wallet hated this gun. I was really excited for the rifle. I couldn't wait to get out and get my Splinter Cell project going. And what happened was a non-stop shit show of failures. And to the point where Bubs and even my wife didn't want to shoot the gun anymore. And after that, we bought it in a different caliber. So 300 Blackout, Ruger American Gen 2, definitely on the list. Really, every 300 Blackout bolt-action rifle I've owned. I've only had 2, both of them sucked. 100% suck ratio. With 300 Blackout, the action was so gritty and terrible, and that is your rate of fire. How fast you can run the bolt is your rate of fire in a manual operated or bolt action rifle, and it definitely didn't feel like an infield. That's what I'm saying. Now, there won't be any honorable mentions for this video because we'll be doing another video similar to this in December, so get ready for that. And now, in at number 1, another Ruger. Now, I swear to God I like Ruger, but when you buy budget guns, you get some 50-50 results, and that means that the Ruger LC carbine is here at number 1. Now, the reason why I put this on the list is because we will also be doing another Ruger LC carbine review. However, not in 5.7. I actually bought it in 45, which is a caliber that I feel makes a little bit more sense. So if you're excited for the Ruger LC carbine in 45, let me know in the comment section below. That said, the 5.7, I just didn't like. I didn't like it for a variety of reasons. Number 1, 5.7 is a terrible caliber for rifles. Now, let me explain. 5.7 is a pretty decent caliber for pistols, which is why it's been very successful in pistols. As a matter of fact, you have the Palmetto State Armory, you have the FN series, you have the Smith & Wesson, which I would consider the best. They have a rotating barrel, very smooth action. The Ruger also has a 5.7 pistol, which I would recommend over the rifle. The reason why the pistols are successful is because the 5.7 is slightly smaller in diameter than the 9mm. So you can fit more in the magazine. Usually for the same space as a 17 round 9mm, you get a 22 or even 23 round magazine capacity in 5.7. They also have very, very light recoil, and you can get fast follow-up shots with them, and they shoot very well. That being said, as a rifle platform, it's dumb because it's wildly underpowered, and it's not as affordable as 9mm. The only reason why people justify and appreciate pistol caliber carbines is because 9mm and 45 are actually pretty affordable if you buy them in bulk, especially 9mm, and most people have them already. Now, 5.7 is about as expensive as a 5.56, and since the rifle weighs the same as a 5.56, and the rifle ammunition costs the same as a 5.56, but you only get like 1/4 of the actual performance of a 5.56, which makes no sense to me. Either you're buying a plinking gun, you should get that 9mm 22, or you're buying a gun for self-defense and hunting in which it should have enough power to actually kill a thing. The reason why we don't shoot high-powered handguns is because recoil is an issue, whereas rifles are a shoulder-mounted weapon, so recoil is easier to control, not as big of a deal, so intermediate or full rifle calibers are more popular. Basically what I'm saying is 5.7 doesn't have enough power to be in a rifle, and it should be left in handguns. Now, it's also fun to shoot because it has very low recoil, but not as fun as you would expect. Like, it's not a 22. You still feel a little bit. In that case, I would rather have a more powerful cartridge. Now, along with recoil, you have to remember that an AR-15 runs a direct impingement system with a buffer spring. And although the 5.56 is 4 times more powerful, it actually has similar recoil impulse to even the 5.7, in my opinion, in a rifle, because the 5.7 is a blowback operated system. So it's not affordable, it's low powered, and it has a similar split time, so what's the point? On top of that, the Ruger LC carbine isn't my favorite overall platform. The magazine release kind of sucks, the trigger sucks, it feels a little low quality and thrown together, and there's so many ergonomic issues that I don't really see a point in getting a different platform, especially when, again, you can get a 5.56 rifle for like $300. Overall, I just feel like there's so many better options at the almost $1,000 price point with expensive ammo. I just don't really see a reason for it to exist, and I definitely didn't see a reason for me to keep it, which is why you don't see it on the table, because I sold it because I hate it. Overall, these videos are always just my opinion. I'm not saying you shouldn't own these guns. I'm not saying that they're bad guns necessarily. I'm just saying they don't fit my philosophy of use. I have no need for them, and I wish I didn't buy them because I just don't see a reason for me to own them. Overall, I hope you found this video entertaining, and that if you liked or disliked some of these guns, let me know in the comment section whether you either liked them or disliked them, and let me know why as well. I'm just one guy with one opinion sitting out here talking shit, so I'd like to hear your opinion as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. The Daria, man, what a dumpster fire video this is turned into. This is what happens when I record videos when I'm tired. It's dreary outside. All I want to do is go to sleep. My wife looks hot behind the camera. I want to do something else before I go to sleep.